Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your third video blog of the day for Tuesday, January 12th, 2016, around 3:21 in the afternoon in Beverly, Massachusetts. It's clouding up, cold, and tonight when you're driving home, you could get hit with a snow squall. Snow squalls are like thunder showers and stuff that they come down very hard for about 5-10 minutes, but it could drop a coating to as much as 2 inches of snow, and that's a short amount of time. Some areas might not get snow squalls, and in eastern Massachusetts is supposed to get a coating to as much as 4 inches. 4 inches in the higher terrain, but not everybody will get the snow squalls. Some news to report. The Powerball jackpot is now at $1.5 billion and it's climbing. I bet when the Powerball jackpot is announced on Wednesday, it could reach $2 billion. Amazing! It's Happy National Kiss a Ginger Day. The Chicago Blackhawks have re-signed their head coach, Joe Quenneville, to a 3-year contract extension to the 2019-2020 season. Joe has won 3 Stanley Cups for the Chicago Blackhawks. The MBTA is considering shutting down the Mattapan high-speed trolley line from Ashmont to Mattapan and replacing it with bus service. I wouldn't be surprised if they extend the Silver Line from Dudley Station to Mattapan Station and use that line for a Silver Line to Ashmont Station. Sad news to report in the world of baseball. Baseball Hall of Famer Monty Irvin passed away today at the age of 96. He spent part of his career with the New York Baseball Giants and part of his career in the Negro League. So prayers to his family. And that's about it on the news. My third video blog subject of the day is about the former tag team, the Beverly Brothers, Bo and Blake. The Beverly Brothers are not really brothers, they're kayfabe brothers in the WWE. They were a tag team for about 6 years, from the late 80s to the early 1990s, and they were a decent tag team in the AWA and WWE, but they never won the WWE tag team titles. The Beverly Brothers are Wayne Bloom and Mike Enos, and they were trained to become professional wrestlers by Eddie Sharkey, no relation to Dr. Thomas Sharkey, former principal of BMHS, and Brad Dragons, who was a Olympic wrestler and a longtime AWA star. The Destruction Crew made their debut in 1989. They came with the theme song, We Will Rock You, and they wore like those hammers when they're destruction and stuff, and they were managed by luscious Johnny V. They feuded with Ken Patera and Brad Ragans, who were the AWA World Tag Team Champions at the time. As the Olympians, they had a car bike lifting contest, and they attacked Patera and Ragans, putting them out on a shelf and causing the AWA World Tag Team Champions to be vacant. And the Destruction Crew, Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom, won the AWA World Tag Team Championship in a tournament against Paul Diamond and Greg Gagne in the finals that happened in October of 1989 with interference by Kukanina Maximus, who was a 400-pound Samoan who eventually became Yokozuna in the WWE. The Destruction Crew were long-reign AWA World Tag Team Champions. They feuded with Paul Diamond and Brad Dragons and the rest of the teams in the AWA, which was not too much. They were managed by Johnny V for a while, but eventually they told him to go away. Also, the Destruction crew went to Japan, New Japan Wrestling, and had a shot at the New Japan World Tag Team Championships against the Great Muta and Masayu Chono. Eventually, the Destruction Crew lost the AWA World Tag Team Champions to DJ Peterson and the Trooper in July of 1990, one of the last AWA cards and stuff. After the AWA was inactive, the Destruction Crew went to WCW, and they were under mask for a while. They were called the Minnesota Wrecking Crew too, but they didn't have any names. And they were managed by Ole Anderson. The original Minnesota Wrecking Crew were Ole Anderson and his brother, Gene Anderson. They weren't really brothers. Anyway, but the Minnesota Wrecking Crew 2 was just enhancement talent. They had briefly a feud with the Steiner brothers, but that went nowhere and stuff. And then Bloom and Enos went back to Japan, wrestled there for a while. Then, in May of 1991, they signed with the leader of sports entertainment, the WWE, and they got a gimmick change. They became Kayfabe Brothers. Mike Enos was Bo, and Wayne Bloom was Beverly, Blake, and they were called the Beverly Brothers. They originally were managed by the coach, John Toldus, and they made their debut in the summer of 1991 from Schaefer Heights, Ohio. They were the gimmick Rich Spoiled Kids, and they had a finishing maneuver called the Schaefer Heights Spike, which is kind of a modified version of 3D, but they would hit the opponents down face first on the mat. They didn't use tables. Could you imagine the Beverly Brothers using tables? And Bo pushes Blake. Get the tables! WWE was an extreme back then. And the Beverly Brothers had decent success. They were in preliminary matches for a while. Then when Coach left in the fall of 1991, the Beverly Brothers got a new manager. They got the Genius, Lanny Poffo in their corner. And they had decent success, feuding with the Rockers, the Bushwhackers, and a couple of other teams. Their high-profile feud in the WWE were the Bushwhackers. They beat them at Royal Rumble 1992 in an awful match. It was just comedy and stuff, but it's known for Jameson giving out a stomp to the Genius's foot. The Genius finally broke his foot and stuff, selling it like $1 million and stuff. Eventually, the Beverly Brothers, mid-card tag team. They won some matches, but they did some jobs. Eventually, they got into another feud with the Legion of Doom, and the Beverly Brothers would paint the preliminary wrestlers' faces after they lost. They would call them Legion of Sissies and stuff like that. But the Legion of Doom and the Beverly Brothers did not have a blow-off match on television and stuff. They had some matches that were taped for Coliseum Video. They had 6-man tags with the Legion of Doom and Paul Ellering against the Beverly Brothers and the Genius. These were not 5-star matches. The Beverly Brothers actually had a tag team title match against Natural Disasters, Earthquake, and Typhoon for the WWE titles at SummerSlam 1992, but the Beverly Brothers got squashed by the Natural Disasters, and after that, they did not really fight for the WWE Tag Team Championships. They eventually got into feuds with the Steiner Brothers and other teams. The Genius was let go in early 1993. The Beverly Brothers were basically a jobber tag team. They briefly kind of teased a face turn when they kind of had a match with Money Incorporated at a Raw in April of 1993, but it didn't go anywhere. Eventually, the Beverly Brothers, Bo and Blake, left the WWE. I think Blake stayed around for until 1994, basically as a jobber to the stars. Both Bloom and Enos basically retired from wrestling for about 2-3 years. They made a comeback in WCW under their real names briefly, but they were basically enhancement talent and stuff, and both of them retired by 1999 and stuff. And the Beverly Brothers were, a decent tag team and stuff. In AWA, they were awesome as a Destruction Crew. The AWA talent roster was very thin and stuff. The Destruction Crew was the first tag team ever to win PWI Rookie of the Year in 1989, the only tag team to date. And, they had some tours of Japan and stuff, but basically the WWE used them as like mid-card comedy tag team, and eventually a heel jobber tag team, which was disappointing to me because I thought the Beverly Brothers were maybe a sleeper team that could have had a decent run as WWE Tag Team Champions. That would have been very, very cool if that happened and stuff. They probably would have been the second team to hold the AWA World Tag Team Champions and the WWE Tag Team Champions. The other one was LOD, but that was never in the cards and stuff. And it should have happened, in my humble opinion. And that's about it on the Beverly Brothers. The fourth and final video blog is coming up tonight, and it's the personality profile. Tonight's personality profile will be about former NHL goaltender Glenn Chico Leash. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Bunning guy. Molly Rosenbluth of WCCO rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart's the best and so stunning. Amy Swenzy rocks. Julie Grottin of Fox 25 is so cute. Julie Donaldson's the best. And in the words of D. Patel, last week, no bus. See you later. Bye now.